Yo, what is up, peoples? Mood 616 here, and I'm just chilling up in the motherfucking studio. So I was thinking, having some beers, and I don't know, did it pass? No, it's not even 12 o'clock yet. And I was thinking, March 9th. March 9th is a very memorable day for me. 16 years ago on March 9th, in my opinion, one of the greatest rappers of all time died. It was a very fucking sad day. I'll never forget it. Yeah, it was just, it was one of those moments where I was like, it was just really fucking sad because, you know, it was just another person that just didn't need to die violently like that. It was fucking terrible. And of course, that being, you know, Notorious B.I.G. So I thought I'd just do like a fucking, you know, a video dedicating just my love to B.I.G, man. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, necessarily don't think that he is one of the greatest because maybe he didn't have enough material, but honestly, it has nothing to do with him passing for me to make, you know, him one of my favorite MCs of all time. It has nothing to do with anything. It's purely the fact that Ready to Die is fucking phenomenal. I don't care what anyone says, man. Like, B.I.G. can come hard as fuck on that record. His lyrical content, like his flows were fucking ridiculous. Changing up his flows, his style was just ridiculous. You know, he could do that, you know, that song like Juicy, and then switch it up and then fucking just rip your fucking asshole apart with Unbelievable. You know, which he did have the backing of Primo on that track, you know, but at the same time, you know, it's like B.I.G. was the motherfucking, he was the shit, man, you know. He had a lot of style, you know, for a big guy. Like, he held him, what he did, he delivered so fucking well. What he did was, for the hip-hop game, was just, you know, was bigger than he could ever probably have thought. I think one of the biggest downfalls that B.I.G. really ever had, I mean, this is just a personal thought, though, too, is that obviously signing with Bad Boy was a good thing. You know, Puff Daddy, you know, love him or hate him, what he had did for the hip-hop, well, not the hip-hop world, but like what he had kind of accomplished, you know, he was about selling records. He was very good at marketing and just getting that shit out there. My biggest complaint is that B.I.G. would have been better off somewhere else a little bit. I mean, Ready to Die was a record that, it really stuck out on Bad Boy Records. Like, I mean, that was it was a hard gangsta album. Really, it was. Like, it's not a gangsta album, it's a street album. But, I mean, compared to the other content that was released on Bad Boy Records, it really did stick out. I think that Biggie Smalls would have had a better... Maybe he wouldn't have been fucking caught up in all that bullshit, you know? Who knows? I don't know. The shit with fucking Pac and stuff. Who knows? But I always thought that, like, you know, the whole Puff Daddy just wanting to sell records, wanting to sell fucking millions of records and shit like that. I mean, after Ready to Die dropped, they kind of took a different approach with Life After Death. And Life After Death, to me, had its moments, man. It still had those street fucking songs, but it had those real fucking poppy songs, hence Hypnotize. Hypnotize, to me, was Puff Daddy's cry into the mainstream going, yeah, this is gonna sell like fucking, you know, a couple million records. Like, this is the track right here. You know, there's nothing wrong with making money and selling records. B.I.G. was just, he was just more than just a mainstream rapper. You know, he was just good at what he did, you know, like, he could have been so much more, and it's too bad that, you know, obviously his fate was sealed in California by some bullshit, but I don't know, man. I love B.I.G, man. I think he was fantastic, and basically just me ranting and raving right now. I don't know. I just absolutely. So basically, you want to make video responses, or just give your own shout out video to B.I.G. It's a fucking shame, man. Like 16 years has passed. It's such a long time. It fucking frightens me that it was 16 years ago. It means I'm getting really old. Like I remember it like yesterday. That was literally half my life ago. I'm 32, going on 33. So, but honestly, I mean, this is just personal though too. I mean, this is just personally one of my favorite albums of all time. It has a really thick spot in my heart because, especially for the time it came out, 1994, I was 14 years old. How more impressionable can you get when you're 14, But it's not just that. Like, I mean, obviously the songs, like, I was just sitting there listening to what he was having to say and shit, and I was blown away by, like I mentioned before, by just the lyrical content. Like, how fucking... I bought this album based on Juicy. It's really not a violent song, it's a rags to riches story. Very first song on the album, Things Done Change. And it's just Curse in the Storm is so gangster and like just hard and shit. I'm just like, really? Like, this is fucking insane. Then you got Give Me the Loot, Machine Gun Funk, Warning, which is just a fucking chilling tale of fucking... Yeah, it's just a chilling tale. I love, by the way, this sample of Machine Gun Funk, the Lords of the Underground sample. I love it. But like, this whole album is just structured so well, man. Big Papa was a song, obviously. Everybody knows the whole B.I.G. Puff Daddy song, or thing, if you've seen the movies and seen the documentaries, but I always thought it was interesting that B.I.G. didn't really want to do the song Big Papa at first because he didn't really think it was him, but Puff Daddy was like, well, you gotta put that type of shit on the album to sell. You need like a mix of shit. You want to have some fucking rags to riches songs. You want to have those gangster cuts. You want to have those sex tracks, you gotta have the fucking one about the ladies, too. And then obviously, ends the album with Suicidal Thoughts, which I think is perfect. It's fucking phenomenal. In my opinion, this is one of the best... It's like a perfect album to me. Another interesting note that I've always thought was interesting about this, me and my buddy were talking about this a couple weeks ago, and the fact that the song The What is the only song on the album that features somebody, which is a perfect album to me because I love an album that doesn't have a lot of features. It's featuring Method Man from the Clan. And even B.I.G. said in an interview that he was absolutely... He said Method Man killed him on that track, like outshined the fuck out of him. Method Man did a fucking great job of that. I mean, it is what it is. You can go either way, but even... Biggie said that Method Man just killed him on that track. I think that's just very noble of him to say, like, fuck, he ruined me on that track. I love that track, man. When I first heard the album, it was actually one of my least favorite tracks on the album, but I was 14, I was leaning towards, I loved Unbelievable, I loved, Juicy and shit like that, and Things Unchanged. I like the harder songs. That song kind of always fell in the middle for me, but I'm older now and I fucking love it, so... But yeah, Ready to Die, that is one of those albums that, honestly, I could listen to this album all the time, and I've stated before, because, you get those questions, if you could take, like, 3 albums with you. You could take 3 albums with you. I don't know where you're going, but that's it. You can only have 3. I always come down to this one because it has so much replay value for me. I love the rhyme schemes on this record. I think B.I.G.'s rhyme schemes were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Life After Death was always a record that always kind of annoyed me because I really felt Puff Daddy's presence a little more in the music. Maybe not... His influence on Ready to Die was there a little bit, but I really felt his presence a little more on this record. Like I said, with Hypnotize, that's fucking Puff Daddy to the fullest. You know, Sky's the Limit's another track that, like, you can tell. I mean, and More Money, More Problems is obviously another track that's just, you know, that shit's gonna clock some fucking dollars, man. But, you know, this album is it's very mixed, though, you know, like, the very last song on the album, You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You, is very haunting because it is the last song on this album before he died. Yeah, that's just fuck to me, but the song is very chilling in itself, though. It has such a different feel. I find the whole album has just this very up and down feel to it. I mean, if you put both discs into one kind of playlist, it plays out really fucked up, man. I think Kicking the Door is classic B.I.G. on here. I think it's fucking phenomenal. It's just really too bad that he never got to do anything else. It's such a fucking shame, because honestly, I've always wanted to know what B.I.G. would be up to now. I mean, would Bad Boy Records have fallen, you know, completely fucking demolished? Would there be stupid fucking reality shows of Puff Daddy and Making New Stars and shit like that? Yeah, I always wanted to know would he be still relevant today? You know, if he was still making music. I mean, would he be like Nas? You know, like, Nas still has the respect in the underground family. He has respect in the mainstream. You know, he still kind of does his thing. You know, he still puts out records and still kind of gets respect in both ways. I mean, would B.I.G. just be totally written off by the underground cats? Or, I mean, the underground cats loved him, but, you know, would they have lost interest all these years later? You know, if Puff Daddy and Bad Boy had just fucking done their thing, you know, and just kept putting out fucking crazy records. I mean, would they turn out for maybe like Jay-Z to me? You know, like, I really respected Jay-Z back in the day. I still respect Jay-Z. I find that he puts out music to put out music sometimes. He's very hit and miss with me. Literally, almost every second album I find is shit. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe B.I.G. would have turned to that. I mean, lyrically, I can't imagine him getting any worse, but who knows? I don't know. If you guys have any thoughts, fucking let me know. You know, make a video response. You know, March 9th, one of the greatest rappers, in my opinion. You know, Born Again, actually, I really wish that the song Come On Motherfuckers had been on this album. It was originally recorded, that song was put on, it was just cut from this record. I wish they had replaced it with Player Hater. That's like one of the worst fucking songs ever on there. I mean, it's just terrible. That song would have been fucking awesome on here. I mean, people say it didn't really fit the mold of the record, but in my opinion, Life After Death doesn't really have a fucking, you know, a consistent mold anyways, but I think it's good, but it's nothing like this album, man. This is amazing. This is amazing. Absolutely fucking love this record, man. Anyways, March 9th. God bless his soul. Notorious B.I.G. Just a little dedication video. Moose 616. Peace out, owners.